Good morning. So yesterday was a stabilization day, and that's what we were expecting. It was in support, filled gap, and as we neared the close, the question for me was, can it close above 5,000, or will it close below 5,000? And the 5,000 is lined up, as you can see here, with this pivot highs. Anyway, it closed above, and the spiders didn't. So as we look at this, here we've got a downtrend. On the hourly, we've got a downtrend. On the 15-minute, we've got a downtrend. On the 5-minute, we've got an uptrend. And so can it continue to stabilize here? And you can see, why did it stop going down there? And of course, look to the left. And get a little bit more of a cleaner look here. And as prices are coming down, right, the depth of retracement here was pretty good. It didn't take out the high. So we could view this, how I do this on higher time frames, but it applies to lower time frames, right? Is that if this can retrace 70 to 80%, I begin to look at this as a trading range or sideways, which it is. The depth here, while it has not taken out this high, right, to break the back of the downtrend, common sense says when it retraces that far, it's retraced far enough. Now, what does that actually mean? Right? Meaning sideways trend. So as far as what is your next thought process as far as action? And what that means is that now that this is at this support area, this isn't a no-brainer situation yet, but the depth of retracement here as short-term traders suggests the pullback is buyable. Okay? So buyable leading to what? Well, we really don't know yet. But we would think, right, that if it can stabilize here for a reasonable amount of time, what's reasonable? Could be the next couple of hours, right? Where, this opens up here, trade sideways for a half hour, an hour, so it may be able to then make another attempt to move up toward somewhere in this area, the next level areas of overhead resistance. So the next pivots, you just simply look to the left over there and say, okay, where's the next resistance area that it may have trouble with? And it's just, systematic process. Sometimes maybe it'll blast through there. We don't know. Anyway, we know it came down real hard. It's extended. You see where the moving averages are way up here. The weekly is down here, wide range bar on top of support. So far, nothing of significance has happened on the weekly time frame. If we end this week, it's still early, but if we end this week in the lower third, lower half, lower body is in the lower third down here, it's going to suggest going down. Can you move the strikes in better view? Yeah. So this one, I struggle with this depending on the market environment as to where to show it, that it doesn't cover up top, center, show right. Okay. So as I picked these, yesterday, neither strike was touched yesterday. Most days, neither strike is touched. So that gives you the extreme based on where things are pre-market. And then from there, you can assess, right, what's happening. So as prices pull back, in this case, they pull back to support, the number that I provided yesterday may still be good. But if the premiums increase like they most likely would, it's early in the day, that's like 11:15. But anyway, as it comes down there, you may be able to go below what yesterday's strikes were and get a little further away. and the same on the upside. So do we have a solid bottom in place here? Hell no. Could it go down there today? Of course. We'll see where the futures are and how things are playing out here. But so that's relatively close. And that's further away, and it's up near those pivots. But if the market's open and things are moving up, you may be able to get above here, like the 75. So a little common sense as to the move. Options have, I'll just use the word variables versus Greeks and complicated stuff, meaning while price movement will adjust the value of those option strikes, we're talking about an instrument here that's going to be, depending on where it closes, worth zero at the end of the day. So there's a big factor of a time element. So where you would think, hey, if prices go here or here, those strikes are going to be worth more or less. But you've got the time decay that's working against the price movement, and then how fast prices move is another factor. So, you don't need any complicated software, in my opinion. You just need some common sense and look at the chart. You can see how fast prices are moving and look to the left and see where there's resistance and, saying, okay, what's the likelihood of it getting beyond a certain point? Can I get premium above that point, and so on? Right? So this is a starting point for the day. If you're in the green room, for anything, zero DTE, put spreads, whatever it is, long stock, short stock, you can ask questions. All right. SPY, where are the markets right now? Moving up a little bit, probably closer to that area up there. Not near yesterday's high. And you can see this is pre-market where I've got it in gray. There's a little consolidation going on. So far, it's holding up relatively well at resistance. The next resistance area you can see is not that far away. So this doesn't suggest a significant move at the moment. If we can get more back and forth here, I like, a daily chart like this. I like it at least 2 days and ideally 3 days where prices can launch a counter trend move. But there's no gap down reversal here, no wide range bar, potent reversal. It's just, yesterday was just an attempt to go higher, an attempt lower, ended up in the middle, neutral. So maybe it continues up. We'll see. Can it take out yesterday's high, which could open up the door to where? Well, not that much further. Right? Look to the left of the next area. And then, we monitor, the internals to see, what they're telling us. Do we have tick extremes? As it's moving up, the ticks hit plus 1,000, some good pushes as it starts to move up. What's the AD line as it starts to move up? In other words, if we came out of the blocks this morning and the AD line is at, say, plus 1,500 to 2,000, that would be a good indication that buyers are really stepping up there. We open up and it's like, look, it's moving up a little bit and it's like a plus 500. And it's like, that's really not anything to get too excited about, as far as moving higher. Well, that's short term. Intermediate term, you can see the 20s rolled over. It's going to come down through the 50, which is now flat. There's a ton of resistance up ahead here. So all we're talking about here is day-to-day bounces until we get a pattern on the daily time frame that would suggest moving one way or the other. You can see the futures trading inside there. Things are rolling over. We're waiting. The longer it goes sideways here, let's say we're into Thursday, and then those economic reports that'll be more meaningful are coming. Sideways means it's building a consolidation. Can it break above it? Or will it break below it? We'll talk about that on Thursday. And Qs, can see was the nastier drop, the stronger drop. General Motors, Dan, chart looked pretty good yesterday. There was some news. I think I saw the news quickly. There was some news, but I remember looking at the chart yesterday and thinking looked a lot better than a lot of other stuff. This lower high, lower low into the rising 50 and minor support. And well, I didn't know it was gapping up like it did. Yeah, yeah. But it was a good kind of chart pulling back like that. Weekly uptrend. All right, so nasty move down. It's created a void so far, just chopping around here at the bottom of the wide range bar. Major support is lower, 200 MA. Got to bounce. Maybe it bounces a little bit more before sellers show up. Dow's up here a bit. That's what I would call a meaningful reversal, but we'll see how far it gets. So far, it's doing well. Of course, you can see the resistance here, those overlapping opens and closes right there. Declining 20, bounce off of support, resistance up above. We see a chart like this. It's like, all right, come on up here and show me a pattern that it's going to roll back over again. Plain and simple. Underperformer, big bottoming tail bar. It's on that pivot from the weekly. And see, the area down there. And, 20 down below the 50. So little relative weakness here. Need some backing and filling. Right now, it's just technical bounces off of support resistance. Hourly chart, it's got decent sideways. The bottoming tail bar and that move up is what we call a downside shakeout, which is defined as sideways, down, V, sideways. And if it can clear here, well, and notice 2000, the 2000 number, it opens up the door into this area in void above, which, look, so far it's just an inside day. It's not doing anything, but this is worth keeping an eye on. Some of the financials, they did well yesterday, and you can see the bounce, but that's coming into resistance. And the regionals, big bounce that helped the Russell. That's got somewhat of a void, but coming into resistance. And then you had biotech. So these are the big influence in the Russell. That's stabilized on the 200. That's really not doing anything today. But the longer it stabilizes, if it was to get a retest or some sideways, that could open up to a move. So let's just drag our alert down here. I'm just going to put one down here too. If it starts coming down, we'll see if buyers are lurking below. SMHs, they're on support like everything else. Came down real hard. Jets, strength there. Why is, earnings came out on UAL, but energy, right? The energy stocks did well yesterday. Where are you? Looks like I messed up the symbol there. And so this had a good day. It's gapping down a little this morning. We usually don't like buy setups that start with a wide range bearish bar, but this isn't a strong uptrend. So you give it a little less weight since it's in an uptrend versus a downtrend. It's a little extended, and maybe it needs a little bit more chopping. So when we talk about consolidations or chopping, what we're really interested in a situation like this is for prices to back and fill a little bit to get away from this, right? So when we see a big red candle like that, that's bearish, and it came down, but it's in an uptrend at minus support. That's positive. Well, we can't totally discount this, but if we can get a little more back and fill here, if the energy or the meaning of that bar begins to dissipate, and it increases the probability of getting through it. Now, if we can get crude oil, right, to stop going down, right, the uncertainty, crude oil wants to see a few bombs going off in the Middle East, and that questions, the supply of oil, less supply, same demand, the price has got to go up. So right now it's just hanging here, 50 MA, 200 MA, major support. Let's see if it begins to stabilize, and if it starts to perk up, XLE, OIH, right? XES should start to move up. All right, let's move it along here. Gold is pulling back. Right, we believe that it would. Right, I thought, yeah, it should pull back. It's extended. It had that gap reversal day. If you look at GLD, and how much can it go sideways versus pulling back? Let's look at where's GLD? Got GDX in there. It's down here. Right, there was that reversal day, and GLD had the that reversal day, and now it's gapping down since the futures are moving down. We'll see what it's going to do. Right, now that it's got this gap, you can see it's stalled right on those pivots. We're there to the left. Just want to take a look at gasoline. That's pulling back. So a little back off of inflation concerns a little bit with gas and oil pulling back. And let's take a look at interest rates. Not doing much of anything. So nothing much there. And that's it. We'll just wait to see how today plays out. If interest rates don't spike up, if the dollar doesn't spike up, oil doesn't spike up, odds are the markets will move a little bit higher. And that's what we'll wait for. You see they're holding up here. And that's it. All yours, Dan.
Good morning. Yeah, I was making fun of you when I said everybody's talking about GM this morning. They were saying good morning. But yeah, GM is on the earnings list. All right, I like starting with alarms going off. And I don't have a single alarm going off on our opens. Wow. So let's go right up to earnings here. Right there, General Motors. And made the turn at the 50, buy setup weekly. Up a lot now. I'd be selling into it myself. GE up a lot. Resistance, nothing to do. Spot's on fire today. Look at that, up over 10%. Same, it's up a lot and no pattern. NBS is an ADR. Gap and a downtrend, but a bullish gap. Uh, so, all right, this is a big mess on UPS. SAP 185. Gap and a downtrend. It's another ADR. FCX. Now this looks like a day trade short. That's a bearish gap under a green bar, kind of a sloppy on top with a void. So that's like call spread, and day trade short. DHR up a lot, 253. A lot of bullish gaps here, but no setups that interest me. This gap and a resistance trading range. Decom potential bottoming pattern. I did set an alarm at 1920 on that. Bank C. So many of these regional banks trade so sloppily. ONB. It's just junk, and these are not good subs. Wow, NVR is a luxury home builder. I remember in the 90s trading this thing when it was $170, and then it had a monster rally up to $800. Now look at it. All-time high is $8,200. Oh wow, that's strong. But there's no volume, no expensive stock. I don't know why they don't split them. I guess they don't want traders really messing around with it. All right, NEP. This will be a great $27 put spread idea if there's anything. Same with NEE, MSCI down to 480. It's a big gap. I'll put it in a window. MSCI, so telephone, LMT. We had to make it put on this into earnings. We had the 432.50. And we had a nice gain. So we just took it yesterday. But if you did keep half, that the back half would have been nice. My UNH alarm did go off. We did a call spread on this yesterday. Nice 180 reversal. And so now I tighten the stop over this pivot over 497. Sherwin, big gap, down a lot from 350. So I got this on my other computer. So if buyers want to step up, WBS gapping down, got some mess. WRB, not great patterns. Xerox gapping down, but it's a big gap, so it's too big for me. Yeah, so when Greg was talking about the market indexes, we had in the weekend letter for the exact reason he showed you. This one had the more confident turn. So we're short the 375 and put spread. RTX, another military. Was up, now down. See patterns like this, like it extended 20, 25 from 50, 200. These are, they're either going to be a bullish consolidation and an uptrend, or if you get a breakout failure, it's like could be an M top for a pullback. So we'll come back to that. Ryder, another Climo on major support. Well, I said, I'll tell you exactly what I said. No, the daily is tight consolidation, but what I said was the 20 is far from the 50 is far from the 200 is what I said. So that means this is a big old void on the daily and weekly. So what I said was these are not like no-brainer breakouts that if they started at the beginning of the move with the moving average is closer. Does that clarify now what I was saying? So this when they're the moving average is this far with a void, I was saying you just got to be alert if a breakout failure. All right, this is a Climo on major support, 200. So I have an alarm at 109 spot 80. Put it in the other computer too. So this would be, you know, if it can get over these two 15-minute bars, it'd be a day trade idea and then a put spread idea. Up a mic, up a lot. You know, they were buying this thing in their earnings. If it takes out yesterday's low, it'd be a call spread idea. PII, I see a print up here at 90. So this is also looks similar to R. Similar, climb on major support. I'm going to put this in a window. Again, 30-minute high, put spread idea and day trade idea. Pulte was up more. Let's see, I wouldn't touch this as a swing trade, as sloppy as can be. But 30-minute high, another put spread idea. You know, just making the turn, and we don't want it to go below that. Halliburton's a day trade long idea. Made the turn here, buy setup and multi-bar turn. This HRI, I don't see any gaps. IBZ, that's down, so that's bearish now. And JetBlue, wow, I sold off even more. That is a nasty, nasty pro gap down. This was a bull consolidation trading range at the rising 50. So now that is destroyed. All that becomes nasty resistance now. KMB keeps climbing. It's bullish, daily, weekly, monthly, but no pattern to get in. Fizzler had an upgrade. Today is Tuesday. So over Friday's high is a put spread idea. Now that it's coming in, let me set an alarm at 179. And we got a ton of earnings this week, as we know. NUE getting whacked, but it's a big gap. I have it on the other computer. I don't know, bottom right here. We'll see if buyers want to step up. SSD. This would be a great put spread over yesterday's high. Let me set an alarm 185.60. I already did 185.70. There you go. Package can't over Friday's high could be a put spread idea. AMP, you know, it's sloppy. I mean, I hope everyone sees when we say put spread, it's just they made a turn. That's what the trade is. We go through our checklist. Go through our checklist, you know, make sure they're liquid. Make sure we get good premium for the number of days to expiration. All right, this is DCOM. I set an alarm at 1920, had earnings, potential bottoming pattern. All right, I'm almost done with earnings here. Cade, gap and resistance, no interest. ELS, actually a sell that kind of downtrend. Remember this Gulf Lima that was tanking this day? And I was wanting to sell $25 puts, but they didn't have them that low. So earnings finally came out. Med-P, 30-minute low maybe. And this is a big mess. All right, CDNS. Wow, that's wild. $20 range pre-market. Wow. All right, UNH low alarm. Excellent. That's our call spread. Trip up alarm, boot up alarm. Boot. Greg, you in that yesterday? NXPI alarm, I think that might be Alex. Q's got some oomph here on the 5 minute. All right, NXPI. Yeah, this is a put spread idea. Get rid of CDNS. Yeah, 30-minute high. This looks great. Day trade and put spread idea. Triplet 26 puts. Low data today. Trip. XPI. Expedia. Yeah, this one we were short. And I said he was on probation yesterday. UNH low alarm again. Nice. Yeah, there's a retest turn. Yeah, I like it. You can buy a pullback. It's extended on 15, but that's a beautiful, beautiful turn on the daily. Beauty. I yeah, I mean for directional, yeah, watch a pullback. Looks great. That's 30-minute $30 puts, naked or 10 cents. So there's no juice. Only 30 cents for next week. But yeah, I like a directional. I'll put it in the bottom right here. And
Amazon can hold this, fills the gap here, holds in this area. I like it above today's high. Short-term trade.
yeah, me too. I would prefer pre-market high, but just because you got some junk there, but yeah. All right,
See if buyers step up here.
UNH, nice. Let's see what our midpoint is.
Microsoft.
UNH. Yeah, that was nice yesterday. Yeah, Rev G, I got off your list. Um, yeah, it's buy setup daily, weekly. Adobe, we still have a call spread. 7152. Adobe got spready. Yes, 82s, they're still far away. Yeah, our HWM triggered yesterday into a close. LMW. Yeah, yeah. Nice 15-minute close. HWM, yeah, borrowing from yesterday. Oh, it's an XPI. I like too. That's a nice 15-minute bar right now. Oh, your boot up alarm. Check NXPI first. 214 puts. To do a 212. 212, 207, 50 cents. Yeah, let's do that. 429, we're good there. Hearing, jam out. Yeah, that's the bottoming pattern. We used to have this guy in Irvine when we had an office. Um, that's all he would trade is Siri. And he would trade his default size was, I think, 15,000. And he would just sit with his feet on the table, just waiting for his setup every day. And then he would just keep adding 15,000 at a time. Yeah, it'd be more of a day trade for me. I don't like the way it came down. Uh, a fizzler. Let's see how it closes. All right, boot moves down, days low or break even.
Just pointing that out. I like the pattern. You need like a $20 stop.
Yeah, that's Climo triggered. All right, boot just hit first, third target. Yields are coming slamming in, slam through the gap. It's 9:45, so there must be a number out. Market perking two. VIX new low, took new high, so something was out.
Take extreme.
Hey, D-line ripping up too, 1400. Reddit up alarm. How it closes. WR. Yeah, another one made the turn. I was saying yesterday, so many things look like they're ready for a 1 to 3 day bounce. Oh, a rider I mentioned. That was a good climb, although I didn't see the size of the gap. MSCI still weak, looks horrible. Sherwin looks horrible. FCX, I could probably short the low, but I don't like the big stop. CBRE up alarm, that was a climb we did yesterday.